Okay, how's it going? It's Crystal from the Angels and Beyond. So, as usual, doing some reflecting because that's what I do. I'm very intentional in my life, and so yeah, I'm going to, when things are starting to ruminate in my head, it's very important for me to sit down with that for a sec. You don't always have to dive deep into it because not everything is meant to be, dived into. Sometimes the thoughts are just meant to, and emotions are just meant to be here, experienced for a second, and move forward and move on, carry on, flow forward, right? So I was thinking about how for myself, I'm just finding myself so much more confident in who the hell I am. And for a long time, I shoved who I was aside, for fear of being judged for the journey that I am on and the person that I've become. And I was just thinking about all of my oracle cards and tarot cards and stuff that I have here. And I, at one point, hold on a sec, it's kind of loud. Okay. So I was just thinking about how I used to hide my stuff. I was, I've been dabbling into oracle cards and that kind of stuff for a long time. Kind of when I first started my spiritual journey. And that was probably 2015. So it's been a long process to get myself to a place where I'm comfortable enough to actually share with other people. There's no way in hell that I would take out an oracle deck and shuffle cards and being very strategic on where I'm putting certain videos and blah 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 blah. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, you know what, if you want to listen to my content, you're gonna fucking listen. If you're meant to, then you're meant to. If you're not meant to, then let that shit slide, move along and let it be. But it's also coming to a place where I'm comfortable enough in my abilities and everything that I've gone through to be able to now share some of the experiences because it's now meant to be shared. A lot of the spiritual journey, the ascension journey, is very internal. And when your life starts to fall apart because something is meant to be built that's stronger, more resilient, and better for you, when that starts to fall apart, there's a sense of you that starts to panic. There's parts of you that just fall away. You don't know who you are anymore. And when you start to feel those feelings and people drop away from your life and certain things that you used to entertain just don't feel right anymore, and certain people that you thought were meant to be in your life forever, you find that the universe or God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, starts to pull you away from those people, those situations that were not actually aligned with who you are and maybe and that's the thing too, is sometimes we could be connected with certain people, and then it's time when a certain time comes where you're supposed to now go inward and focus on yourself and start really getting in tune with your own energy and not being distracted by everything else around you. So when that happens, sometimes people fall away. But then something beautiful happens is you both start to evolve, and you evolve in your own ways, and then sometimes you are meant to come back together as more healed, evolved versions of yourselves. And then, you continue on. But then there's other people in your life that are only meant to be with that unhealed, unevolved version of yourself. And when that version of yourself is ready to leave, that's when those people will start to exit your life. And for myself, when I'm making friends, it's very hard for me to make friends, right? I moved a lot when I was growing up, so it was always a constant you need to get used to losing friends and moving away from people and all that kind of stuff. So that's just kind of naturally how I've evolved over time into adulthood, is that friends kind of just come and go, and there's certain people in my life that will come back in every once in a while, and I've got long-term friends that that's just exactly how it's meant to be, and it's perfect how it is. But at this point, it's time to really put yourself back out there. And I'm starting to put myself out there, and I'm starting to really feel like this is exactly where I'm meant to be, helping other people, even in this small little way. And so I pulled an affirmation card and check back for the next video. So the affirmation card that I got after everything, after all of that, to say, like, there was a time where I was not comfortable with sharing any of the stuff that any of the gifts that I have, or any of the things that I have been harnessing. I don't know what you want to call it. But even like reading cards, I used to read cards. I do it for myself all the time. And so to be comfortable enough to be able to share some of the messages that I do get is huge for me. And I just was really taking a moment to congratulate myself, because I've evolved into this person that I'm like so proud of. So proud of her. And I know there's even greater versions of myself that I'm going to be stepping into. But the person that I was, and where I was, and everything that I have been surrounded by, like, I have been surrounded by people that want to keep me stuck and don't want to see me thrive. And my soul, my spirit knew, like, haters gonna hate, and I'm going to evolve no matter what, and I'm going to be the best version of myself no matter who is around me. And so that takes strength in itself, and you need to sit down for a moment and take note of how far you've come and the person that you've evolved into, like how amazing you are. So anyways, the card that came out, I say all this to say, the card that came out was, I trust my journey. And so this is why I turned on the camera. So it says, I trust my journey. Move forward in life with the certainty that you are on a journey headed towards your highest self. When you hold steadily to your vision, understand that reaching the final destination will be worth it. The roadmap of life is ever changing and leading you toward your destiny. And that, 222 on my clock. Destiny has been coming up. That is something this week. It feels like some big shift is happening, that we are aligning to our destiny. And even just acknowledging how far I've come, acknowledge how far you have come, and see just how far and how much you've evolved and changed over even the last year, the last 5 years, the last 10 years. Like, you're not the same person. And so that is worth acknowledging. That is worth celebrating. So take care. Have a good one. Mwah.